No holding back.
HQ, this is Sector Unit 4. We have eyes on the target. We need backup. I repeat,
That's that.
requesting immediate backup.
Let's get this over with. Yeah. Nothing to it.
An orb of... We now have a deadly dodge ability.
All clear. You!
That's that. You're mine. Here it comes. I see you. Gotcha. Let's finish this. That it?
Holy shit, man. Alright, we found a pair of wrist guards. My god, look at that. Increases strength by 5%. Yes, please.
The area near the expressway is still extremely dangerous.
On the map screen, you can check your current scenario objective and view a lay of the land. Alright, we're gonna go back and see if I can get to that materia.
Hey, you there!
Get ready. Enough. That's that.
Oh shit! Get off me!
I see you. Anytime now. You're mine.
Get
Let's go.
dunked. HP up materia. I think I like the idea of just keeping with this for now. I already got more materia than I can use. This is good. You guys notice the flower still on his chest? That's cool.
Please take a detour and avoid the plaza near the expressway. Train services may be suspended without warning. Should this occur, your patience and understanding are requested. I repeat. This is an alert from Cinema Emergency Operations Center. The area near the expressway is still extremely dangerous.
So Loveless is this, it's like a play or a story that everybody was obsessed with at the time.
Just give it up! Don't run!
Here we go. Get ready. Let's finish this. Sorry. It's over. Flashback.
When do we get to see the creep dude?
I repeat, target sighted! Set for immediate deployment!
It's over. No holding this, see ya. That's that.
Troopers on standby!
Oh, you're talking about the end. That's a while in. Alright.
You are clear to engage!
This won't take long.
Oh, shit.
Ready.
Target is headed for
Anytime now. Try me. Going in. I'll end this. As good as dead. Don't let him escape!
combatants, you are surrounded! Lay down your weapon and surrender! Ground forces engaging target in Cotton Plaza. All nearby units converge and provide immediate support!
That's that.
Target, get mobile! Support! Proceed to rally point at the station!
So much for the direct route. Find another way. Use the rooftops, maybe. But the rooftops look clear.
Okay. I need to go back the way that Eris ran and explore that area. God damn, man, this is like... Oh, man, this is like nothing I've ever had before.
Don't let him get away!
Where?
No matter what! Get him!
Is that it? You're mine.
Message from aerial recon. They want us to lock down the station area.
That's that. It's over. I'd be better off trying my luck somewhere else.
Now let's go down here.
An evacuation order has been issued to the occupants of the building.
Okay.
The Sector 8 Expressway. You are advised.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're still doing D&D.
Close after reactors have caused numerous ongoing fires. Many homes are at risk. It is not safe to remain indoors.
Looks like the The station's crawling with public security.
What is... Oh. Grab that. Go down here. Nice. Treasure!
Over there! Open fire! Shoot to kill!
Alright. Oh, they shot my thing down! Let's go back down there and kick their ass.
Be advised, target approaching residential area. Seal all access immediately.
Target sighted! Get him!
It's all or nothing now.
An iron bangle. Looky, looky. Oh, here we go.
Don't underestimate him. Can't take me! Stand down!
So a yay or a nay on the game? I mean, like, total yay. I mean, this is... Yeah, this is only on the PS4 for at least 1 year.
I see him!
Let's do this. See ya. Let's go.
Oh yeah, this game can't run on the Switch. As much as I love the Switch, I love the Switch. I really want that console to get everything in the world.
Target has entered residential area. Full lockdown is in effect. All units.
The Adventures of Stamp, Book 3. Everyone's favorite series, so that's why he keeps calling it Stamped. If there was like a Switch Pro that was like as good as like a normal PlayStation, that'd be amazing. But that little console already puts out a ton of heat in mobile mode.
You're mine now!
An announcement will be made when the lockdown has been lifted.
Target spotted. Moving to intercept.
See ya. That's that. Nothing to it.
I'll stop you.
No holding back. me. That's that. It's over.
Whew. They got RE7 on Switch, but the streamed game? I didn't know 7 was on Switch. And we gotta get, well, we don't find our way out of Midgar. We find our way back to what's called 7th Heaven. It's our base of operations in Midgar. And we're meeting up with Barrett and the gang.
Get ready. I see you. See ya. So long.
Oh. Man, what did I obtain? A Moogle medal. This music is so good. There is so much energy in how the orchestra plays this score.
Enemy combatants, you have been warned. Surrender yourself to public security immediately. You have nowhere to run.
Can't take me!
That's that. Let's finish this. Try this. You're mine. See ya.
So Cloud has an ability I just learned that is like a berserk buff. When he's in it's Operator, and I forget the other mode. Punisher. When he's in Punisher mode, if you press and hold square during your combo, he'll stab the sword down on the ground on top of a guy, and then he goes, "Wah!" And there's like a little buff that shows up on his overlay in the bottom right corner over there, and it's got like teeth mark on it, and I think it gives him like a strength buff.
End of the line, punk! I'm gonna enjoy this.
That's that.
This
See ya. Anytime now. That's that. Still in it.
I keep trying to check my status screen.
See ya. That's that.
This guy on the left is named the Huntsman. He's a named.
Anytime now.
Come on, you big idiot. Let's go. Okay.
Here it comes. Anytime now. It's on now.
Do your worst.
Never again. I see you.
Hot shit. Come on.
Let's do this.
Come on.
You got no chance. Try me.
Anytime now. I see you.
I bet if I still had my fire magic on,
Shit.
it'd be better.
Brace yourself.
Didn't mean to do that.
Still in it. All right.
I was in the wrong mode.
I live for this.
The summon gauge is up!
Going in.
So, okay. Well, there's cross slash.
Going all out.
Oh! I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for the summoning. I'm not gonna do cross slash. Summon! It's right here, guys. Summon Cactuar!
Get him.
You goofy little shit! Get him! Summon fights alongside you for a brief period, and their remaining time is indicated by the gradually decreasing gauge. These beings have a will of their own and engage the enemy as they see fit. However, you can command them to unleash unique attacks by expending your party's ATP gauges. The summon gauge is completely depleted. The summon will execute a devastating ultimate attack before they depart. Get him, Cactuar! Get him! Hit and run tactics! 10,000 needles!
I'll pay you back.
Time to finish it!
You're out of luck. Slide.
HQ, this is Sector 8, Unit 2. Target is surrounded. Moving to secure.
Wait! I know that.
Guess Cloud won't be joining us after all.
No need to assume the worst. I'm sure he's fine. You saw him in action, didn't you? Guy's a soldier. Goddamn one-man army.
You think he's a keeper?
On my go. You had me worried for a minute. What the hell you been up to, huh?
Giving public security the runaround. That's what. Had to draw them away from the station somehow.
Nicely done.
Well, can't argue with results, huh? What?
Wait. Got a question for you all.
What?
Ever been attacked by an invisible enemy?
What?
Wearing robes. Came and went like the wind.
Thought they were invisible.
They were, at first. Only saw them after she grabbed me.
A new Shinra weapon, maybe?
More like a panic-induced hallucination.
Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Suit yourself. Come on, let's move up.
A lot of people here.
And in the freight car, too.
Because of the evacuation order, maybe?
Lucky us. We've got a crowd to hide in. Head for the front of the train and hold there.
Due to an explosion at Mako Reactor 1, an emergency schedule is now in effect. Your understanding and cooperation is appreciated.
They said it was an attack, but I'm not so sure.
Oh my god, I'm loving every absolute molecule of this game.
Just let me get home.
The highway collapsed right in front of us.
I just wanted to be alone.
Sector 8, back to normal in no time. It has to be.
Are you the one
So
who
cramped.
Let's go to Sector 3 instead.
Do you mind? I'm trying to work here. I'll be nice and talk to my brother. Just leave me alone, alright?
Hey, got a
You
sec?
see, my daughter now lives in Sector
You're,
8, so...
holding up pretty well, huh? Even after what we saw at the station and all over Sector 8?
I'm a soldier.
Wow.
Have they
My
caught the
hands are still
perpetrators
shaking.
Yet?
You get used to it.
Something to look forward to. Or maybe not.
Why don't you learn to take a hint, buddy?
So
Stop that right
cramped.
now!
The office. Okay, got it.
Man, everyone's on edge.
Of course they are.
No thief's getting
Hey,
my
Cloud.
money.
If you're about to unburden yourself, don't.
Yeesh. You don't make it easy.
Stop that right now!
Sector 3 instead.
We were out on a date when it
What is happening on this train?
Why don't you learn to take a hint, buddy?
My daughter now lives in Sector 8, so...
I can't wait to set foot. Little help, Cloud? Please?
I'm sure Sector 7's
I can't stop thinking about it. The bomb I made shouldn't have produced an explosion that big. It doesn't make any sense.
The explosion triggered a reaction with the Mako. You said so yourself.
That was my first guess, but shouldn't a reactor have fail-safes to prevent that kind of thing? You mentioned invisible enemies back there, right?
Right.
No. I'm just looking for excuses for something that was clearly my own fault. God,
Gotta own up to it if I'm gonna learn from this and move on. Thanks, Cloud. You're a good listener.
What kind of maniacs would go so far as to bomb a reactor?
They've yet to announce it publicly, but I heard it was Avalanche's doing.
Really? Aren't they the terrorists who tried to kill the president?
Is there nothing they won't do?
Hey, quit talking out your ass. Everyone knows Avalanche only cares about saving the planet.
Just who do you think you are?
A law-abiding, concerned citizen.
Law-abiding? Really?
Shh. Don't antagonize him.
In my humble opinion, that explosion was a message. A message to the bastards bleeding our planet dry. Think they got it? Heard it loud and clear? Y'all's masters?
We will not submit to intimidation or violence, but work together for peace and prosperity. That is how civilized people change the world.
That's right.
That is the Shinra Creed.
Them's fighting words.
It's what we believe. We all have to follow our conscience, don't we?
We should go.
Right.
That's a really well expanded upon scene that was in the original game.
I didn't hear anything. You gotta believe me.
You hear that suit? Shinra Creed my ass. We're the good guys, damn it. You hear that suit? Shinra Creed my ass.
Alright, we're gonna talk about the ID check thing and look at the map together, Jesse.
Let's get this out of the way. Personally, I find visual aids make the dull stuff a lot more bearable. If it helps, think of it as an initiation rite.
How many times do I have to tell you people? I'm not...
There's such a thing as playing too hard to get. So, here we've got a wireframe model of the great city of Midgar, complete with massive steel plates suspended 300 meters above ground level, atop which stands a shining beacon of civilization. The whole system is sustained by the Mako reactors, which feed the insatiable appetites of the public.
The train will be passing through an ID checkpoint shortly.
This here is the train's route. As you can see, it'll take us around this main pillar. Look, we're about halfway through it now. They've set up a checkpoint here to scan the IDs of all passengers heading in and out. Date of birth, residential status, criminal history, all that and more is automatically cross-referenced in their databases. Public security wouldn't have it any other way. Heads up. Don't worry, our IDs are impeccable. What'd I tell ya? Have a little faith. Won't be long till we reach the bottom. Relax.
Take a good look. It's because of that great big pizza in the sky that people down there gotta struggle to survive. Shinra sucks up Mako while the soil turns to dust, the air fills with smog, and the flowers die.
Then leave and don't look back. That's what's always worked for me.
Well, that's all well and good, if you're only out for yourself. But the folks down there don't have the luxury of choice, you know?
Like this train, I suppose. There's only one way it can go.
Oh, this is so good. I can't say anything. I love it.
Hey! Still alive? Over here! Oh, you guys!
Damn straight.
Daddy!
Oh, sweetheart.
I'm glad you're home.
Don't worry, I'm fine.
Thank goodness.
Knew it couldn't be that bad. No way.
Hot damn, we are good!
Yes! Bombs detonated 1, members lost 0.
And one step closer to a brighter future.
Hell yeah!
Guys! Lower your voices, huh? People are listening.
Oh, right.
Now get some R&R. You've earned it. Just be ready for the next mission, all right? See you soon. At 7th Heaven. You know, where Tifa works. Don't keep her waiting. She'll worry.
Oh.
Not long now, honey. That is almost.
Are you sure you have...
How are people here taking the news?
It's got a lot.
You've seen a huge... wow. I'm hungry. Guess I'll stop by one of the food stalls.
So, you hear that burger joint staying open tonight?
No way! I'd kill for one right now.
I just...
Talk about weird stuff going down. A reactor bombing, a train graveyard getting closed off.
What? The graveyard's closed?
One of the locals was attacked by some kind of monster, so the watch told people to keep out.
What are we even doing here? No one in their right mind would go into a train graveyard at night.
People talk, rumors spread, and kids get curious. You know how it is.
Speaking of which, you hear it was supposedly a ghost, not a monster, that attacked that guy this afternoon?
They must have been seeing things.
Talk about...
I'm going on a ghost hunt. Come on out, ghosts!
Of course no one's here to pick me up. Why would they be?
Why did my office have to burn?
It's okay. Don't cry.
Office still there?
Somehow. As long as the trains are running.
Listen to that music.
As usual tomorrow.
How about it, baby girl?
So, what do me and the reactor haven't come? Everyone gets pissed off when we stop working. I need a new job.
That's funny.
Let's go someplace a little less crowded, huh?
Okay, except the only place around here is the train graveyard, which everyone says is haunted. But that's cool, right?
Rain check?
Train services have concluded for the day. We will provide an update on the schedule first thing tomorrow morning. Thank you for your...
When I put him in charge of my stand, I told him, son, the goal isn't to make a fortune. It's to make people happy. If someone's having a bad day,
Sounds great.
smile on your face.
Well, by the looks of it, I feel like it's been forever since I've eaten at one of these.
Well, then you can fall in love with fried marsh all over again.
So, if you want to remember what they were talking about with the pizza slices,
So the Mako reactor's broken?
For now. But don't you worry.
a big part of the story of Midgar, the city, is that there's plates that are elevated off the ground, and that's where we were up before. When you were able to see the sky, it's because we were on top of the plates. The slums are everything built under the plates. That's what he's were talking about when he was talking about the pizza slices. And it's really cool to play this game today with this engine. Look at the massive pillar in the middle, and just the massive plate that's above the head. Because they talk a lot in the original game about how like people can't ever see the sky in Midgar in the slums, and it causes depression. And it stops things from growing, and it just, you know, that big disconnect. It's just, what a cool concept. Nobody else in storytelling has ever, not that I can think of. I mean, they've come up with slums, and there are some animes where they have like slums built way deep down, but from my memory, those animes came out after 1997, so it's just like, but yeah, each plate is like it's a diamond shape or a triangle, so it is like a pizza slice, and yeah, it's pretty cool, and it's all just floating above everybody in the slums' heads, which is like really depressing. Literally, the rich are above you, literally.
Some guys on the train were saying stuff about Shinra, criticizing the good work we do.
Ingrates. I hope you were able to talk some sense into them.
Yeah, of course. They were blubbering like babies by the time I was through with them.
Well done, dear.
Well done, dear.
March, a handful or hear me out? A whole heap?
I wish I could tell you, but sadly, I don't share your passion for processed foods.
I think he's over by the TVs. He's been watching the news this whole time.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. I want to know if they've caught anyone.
What kind of person bombs? Apparently Shinra thinks it's a group called Avalanche. That's what I heard on the
Dumb Platy's only had it so good because of the reactors. And this bombing's changed all that.
Yeah, well,
Dumb
shoes on
Platies.
the other foot now.
People
Let's
who
see
live
how
on
they
the
like
plate.
fighting to survive. They're people too, you know. I'd never seen anything like it before. It was completely insane. Security was out in full force looking for the bombers.
It was like a giant candle lighting up the whole
All
sky.
that debris piled up like mountains. You couldn't go nowhere.
Huh. Mako is the lifeblood of the planet? Yeah, the hell it is. Goddamn eco-warriors with their dumbass posters. I tear them down and they're back up inside of an hour. Like I've got nothing better to do. I mean, look at all that steel work. You trying to tell me that's not progress? What the? You okay, buddy? Mako junkie, huh? Figures.
You again.
So there's something in the story of Final Fantasy VII. So to try and help you guys, between what you're supposed to know because you played Final Fantasy Classic, and then what you're not supposed to know because they've added it to Final Fantasy Remake. Final Fantasy VII Classic, Cloud, not this frequently. They're definitely showing it a lot earlier in the game, and they're showing it a lot more frequently. He has these painful migraine flashes that give him visions, and really it's flashbacks of something that happened in the past that you guys will eventually see. Probably not in this game. It actually happens about halfway through the story. So that's probably going to be the second or the third installment to this. But there was an event in his past that he keeps flashing back to. And when we were watching him confront Sephiroth and we were talking about Nibelheim, a lot of that has to do with it. But this whole ghost thing, this is completely brand new. There's like a whole sub-story here about the ghosts coming out of the train graveyard that is nowhere in Final Fantasy VII Classic. Again, you just eventually end up in the train graveyard in the game and you just fight ghosts. Like, that's it. It's just one of the enemies that you come across. So this is really cool that they've added like a supporting storyline.
Shower can't come soon enough. I can barely tell my skin from all the ash and sweat.
When I get back, it's refueling time.
And you, Jesse?
I don't know. Figure out how I screwed up.
Warning. Gate broken. Fiends in area. Exercise caution. No reason to check it out. Not my problem.
You don't want to mess with the monsters in here. Move along then.
Is that...
And just where do you think you're going, huh?
That's what's his face from Family Guy. Peter.
You don't want to mess with the monsters in here. Move along now.
It's fucking... I forget his name. Peter.
Excuse me? Due to an emergency, entry into this area is
Joe.
prohibited. Sorry for the inconvenience.
You call that a warning?
No, sir!
Public security should know who did it.
So you'll interrupt them while they're working?
What's up, G. Grief?
It's one little question.
Another avalanche. Oh my god, guys. Seventh Heaven. Tifa's Bar in Sector 7. Named appropriately for that.
Are they gonna turn the reactor off? Why did people blow it up?
Doctors are also stationed at the building's disaster relief center. If you are unable to reach the building on your own, please contact the nearest Shinra employee for assistance.
What the?
Mayor Domino,
That's
in
where I
conjunction
work.
with President Shinra,
No,
has
freaking
declared a
way.
state of
What do you know?
emergency in
That
Midtown.
ain't half bad. I'll make a grease monkey cat.
Thanks. I've always dreamed of opening up my own shop, so I can look after my parents, you know?
Marlene.
Daddy, you're home!
That's right, Angel. I
Welcome
am.
back.
Have you been a good girl?
Yeah, I've been helping Tifa.
Oh, you did you? Well, well.
You made it. Where'd you get that? I can't remember the last time I saw a real one. Huh? How sweet. When did you get so thoughtful?
Guy can change. Has been 5 years.
Huh?
I need to talk to Barrett.
Right. Come on in.
Daddy, the Mako place blew up. Everyone on TV's talking about it.
Don't you worry about all that silliness. Daddy's here and he's not going anywhere tonight. Now turn that thing off and let's get you to bed, huh?
I love it.
In conjunction with President Shinra, has declared a state of emergency in Midgar.
Hey! What the hell you think you're doing scaring my daughter like that?
Daddy says never talk to strangers.
That's right, honey, I do say that. What a good girl you are remembering Daddy's lessons. You know what else good girls do? They go to bed on time. Come on.
But I'm not tired. I want to talk some more, Daddy.
All right, but just this once.
So then, what can I get you?
My money. I'm still waiting on it.
Right. About that, we should talk outside.
I wonder how different it would have been if I would have approached Barrett first instead of Marlene.
Daddy, did the people who died all return to the planet?
Of course. Let that be a lesson to you.
Yeah, I wonder if that would have been different.
Before we get on to money, there's an empty apartment in a place just down the road. It's nothing fancy, but I was thinking you could stay there for now. The landlady's a big friend of the cause, so you wouldn't even have to pay rent. Sound good?
Sure does. Thanks.
Follow me then.
That is different.
How was it up on the plate?
It was chaotic.
Sorry for dragging you into all this. It was wrong of me to put you in danger like that. I promise I won't do it again.
Danger's part of the job. Don't worry about me.
I'll try not to.
Always happy to help stick it to Shinra.
Not good at all.
Apparently he was fishing for
So, you make nice with everyone?
Much as I could, all things considered. Maybe not enough for them.
Good. You had me worried. You're not exactly a people person.
I'll give you that.
I saw Sector 8 on the news. It was like a war zone.
The news is just another Shinra mouthpiece. They'll spread whatever lies Shinra tells them to.
Happen to us?
So,
how will this
it wasn't that bad?
It was.
Oh, right. And here we are. Good old Stargazer Heights. You're on the second floor. Room 201 here is where I sleep. Don't have time for much else, what with 7th Heaven and all. Not even time to decorate. Here's your room, 202. Don't worry, I already told the landlady about you.
You did?
Yes? Oh, I mean, I told her I had a friend looking for a place to stay. Was that too much?
No. It's fine. And this?
That one's, know what? It's getting late. I'll introduce you tomorrow.
Who the hell is in the third room? Well, first playthrough has to be Eris for the date, but Gold Saucer's not going to be on the first disc. We probably won't see Gold Saucer until 2021. Some nonsense like that. You just double check some stuff real fast. All right. I feel like this didn't load properly. Like, the textures here are shit. Door. That couldn't have loaded right. That's got to be an error.
It's a little bare, but should be enough to get you through the night. If you want anything else, we can always get it.
There is one thing. My money. You guys owe me 2,000, remember?
I do. And we'd love to settle up, especially since this was your first job for us, but...
That's it?
Sorry. We spent the rest preparing for the mission. That really is it. But not for long. I'm collecting money for filters tomorrow, so I can pay you after.
And you're sure about that?
Of course, as long as you help, that is. Wait, then I'd have to pay you for that too. Never mind.
No, 2,000's enough. That's what we agreed on, so that'll be the price. With what you gave me, that leaves 1,500.
You're the best. I'll see you bright and early at the bar then. Thanks again for everything. Sleep tight.
Look at the walls. The texture's great on that, and then the door. Even those doors have a better texture than the one that's the front door. I don't know why that front door's texture was so bad. Oh, that was sick.
Guess it's time for introductions.
Oh, that's definitely Barrett. Barrett sleeps next door to us?
Hey, you okay in there? Oh. Coming in.
Get off me!
Oh my god, the cloaked dudes. Reunion. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What are you doing to Marco? This is his apartment. He's got a few problems, but he's not a bad guy. The landlady asked me to check on him now and then to make sure he's okay. Can I ask you to do the same?
Sure.
Okay, that's kind of like a huge development. Okay, that's like huge. Those are cloaked. They're really bumping up the storyline, man. They're really reshuffling it. The stones and the sword are my materia. So the actual materia that's like set into my blade actually appears in the weapon itself, which is pretty badass. It's kind of hard to explain the cloaked dudes. They're numbered because they're creations. They're additional attempts at making another Sephiroth. In the classic Final Fantasy VII, there was never one of those dudes inside Midgar. This changes, like, a lot. This is cool. Yeah, because the whole thing to Sephiroth used to fight for Shinra. He was one of their best soldiers. And then Shinra figures out what he is. He finds out he's not, you know, he's like a test tube baby, and it makes him go insane, essentially. And Shinra's been trying to get him back or create a new Sephiroth ever since. So yeah, spoilers are allowed for the original game, for Final Fantasy Classic. So, since we already have played it, as you guys know, we're doing the Final Fantasy Challenge. So we've been playing through all the Final Fantasies in order. We're currently on Final Fantasy 12. Taking a break from Final Fantasy 12 so we can play Final Fantasy 7 Remake, but we'll go right back to it after we're done with this. But yeah, with that being the case, we have played and beaten Final Fantasy 7 on the channel. YouTube links out there if you guys want to watch. There's a full playlist of all of our playthroughs of Final Fantasy 1 through 10 up there. I need to finish uploading 10, but it's all going to be up on YouTube. But anyways, yeah, we can talk about the comparisons of Final Fantasy VII Classic to this. Just no spoilers for anybody out there who might know things about Final Fantasy Remake that I haven't gotten to. So we can talk about Remake, but only up to the point where I've played it, because we've gone into it blind.
Well now, you must be Cloud.
Who are you? You're
I'm
new.
Marl, your landlady.
Oh.
So how'd you like the place? You from up on high?
I've been around.
I'll bet. No matter. All kinds come through with all kinds of reasons. If you ever need an ear to bend, I'll lend you mine. Can be about anything, even Tifa.
What's she to you?
The granddaughter I never had, and if you hurt her, I'll take it out of your hide. You hear me?
Loud and clear.
Good. Now you'd best get a move on to 7th Heaven. She's got a head start on you, and then some.
So, yeah, so essentially, here's the thing about the older Final Fantasy games. Like, there's some subtext that exists within the storytelling that a lot of fans have drawn out and kind of made some connections that aren't super obvious. So, I mean, let's be real. Like, storytelling in video games was a lot harder to do with less technology, and as technology has advanced, we've been able to tell a more streamlined, more cinematic story that's easier to follow. Square Soft, before Enix and Square came together around Final Fantasy X, they had a habit of creating cinematics of cool moments, but not the most important point in a story. So, for example, in Western storytelling, we would create a very flashy scene that also has a heavy impact on where the story's going next. So, a good example is Lord of the Rings, the Battle of Helm's Deep. The Battle of Helm's Deep is big, it's flary, it's got a lot of action going on in it, it's got a lot of badass moments to it, but it's also very pivotal to the story. It's important story. So the stuff that stands out to you, the stuff that you're going to remember after the story's told to you, is also the key points throughout the story. Squaresoft had a bad habit of making scenes about like characters meeting or like a badass fight, but it wasn't the turning point. It was like maybe a part of the turning point. I think a good example is like Final Fantasy X. They showed this scene where Auron's coming in and being introduced during the Blitzball tournament, being attacked by a bunch of people. Which you're going to remember Auron at a Blitzball tournament fighting a monster, and that's really sick and badass, but it's not the focus of the fact that the Blitzball tournament was being attacked by Sin, and that's how Titus gets to Sphera. So, like, you guys can start, you'll if you haven't noticed what I'm talking about, it's kind of too late, because Final Fantasy X was kind of the last game where they tell stories like that. Final Fantasy XII is where Square Enix and Squaresoft came together, and they start to tell a more streamlined Western style of telling a story. So that, coupled with the fact that we have Final Fantasy VII released in Japan, and then we have a translation. Translation of games didn't get good until around Final Fantasy X, and so sometimes there's some missing translation, and not just word for word, but also character. So one of the big things about Final Fantasy VII that makes it so fun is that in the West, Cloud is kind of a goofball in Final Fantasy VII. Like, he tries to say one-liners and they don't sound right. But in the East, Cloud in Final Fantasy VII was just like an Arnold Schwarzenegger-style badass in the way that his one-lines would hit. But in America, we were like, that was kind of fucking cheesy. But it was endearing how it came across. We're like, Cloud's kind of a nerd, dude, and he's lovable. And so, as Final Fantasy VII grew in fame and popularity, there was a kind of meld in the East and West cultures that we didn't get with 8 and 9 and 6 and stuff like that. Those games kind of stayed the way they are in the Western and the Eastern markets. But, yeah, exactly. He's more of a goofy kind of kid in Western, and what it was is they were trying to translate Final Fantasy VII from the Eastern market to the Western market, and they put in those one-liners to Japanese culture. Those one-liners were like, God, that's cool, he's so suave. But we, here in the West, have James Bond, and we have Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator, and we got all these badass action heroes, and we kind of run the gambit on badass one-liners in action movies. So when Cloud says something like, not interested, like, it just doesn't hit as well. But that's what's beautiful about Final Fantasy VII Remake, is they're taking the understanding that the West had and the understanding that the East had, and they brought it together. We're seeing Cloud being pretty badass throughout the story, because that's the way the East saw it. But then when he was asking him, he's like, so what are you, 20? And he goes, no, first. Soldiers don't go up to 20th class. I'm first class. And he goes, I ain't talking about your rank, I'm talking about your age. Like that, and then like Cloud's like, like, there's a little bit of that goofy bullshit that Cloud's known for in the West. So, yeah, a big part of it had to do with voice acting and getting the lines translated properly. And, I mean, there's cultural things. I mean, like, in America, if you do this, that means come here. In Japan, this comes here. Two totally different gestures, but it means the same thing. Same thing with the language. Conveying an idea or a thought or a joke or a meme, and I mean that in the most literal sense, a meme, not internet memes, but a meme by definition is something that a culture understands as a whole without needing explanation. Doing this is a meme. It means roll down your window. Most people understand that. So that kind of stuff. So there's memes in Japan that don't translate to America, and like the characters get put into these scenarios, and then they have to translate the dialogue, and then you're talking to somebody from Western culture, and they're like, well, if we translate this one-to-one, it's not going to make any sense. Exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about, G. Like, it's just this weird, awkward, and that's why with some of the older games, things are so weird. And if you want a perfect example of really situational, odd translation, the translation of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children Complete, the movie. In the East, it's this great video game fan service movie. In the West, it's mostly fan service, but the way the characters all interact with each other makes no sense. They're just like saying the weirdest shit to each other, and you're like, why would you say that in the middle of it? And like the big joke that everybody runs to on that is dilly dally shilly shally. That whole thing that, why the hell did Tifa say that? Nobody understands it. And really what it was is somebody in Japan was trying to come up with a, like, there's a phrase in America or in the West where they're saying you're screwing around, you know? Well, it's quit dilly-dallying around. We say that. So they took it and they made it a little bit more fun. Dilly-dally, shilly-shally. And like, just nobody on the face of the planet in human history has ever said dilly-dally, shilly-shally. We say quit dilly-dallying around. But all of a sudden, Tifa in the middle of the movie goes dilly-dally, shilly-shally. And we're like, what the fuck was that? And then they tie it back in later in the movie, and Cloud shows up to save everybody, and he's like, I feel lighter. I feel like a big weight's off my chest. And she's like, good, Cloud. And he's like, must have been all that dilly-dally, shilly-shally. And it's like, what the? Stop it! What are you doing? So what this is now that, you know, cultures... How did I do that? Oh. Cool. Neat. So now that cultures have, with the internet and everything, we've kind of understand each other better, and we translate so much better these days. Final Fantasy VII Remake, to go all the way back to Fast Break's original question of what you're getting is this is a subversion of FF7's Classic. Really what's happening is now that we have a world understanding and expectation of these characters, and the story's not being told really oddly. Like, Final Fantasy VII Classic's hard to follow. You gotta play it a couple times, you gotta read some forums, people gotta explain some shit to you, because it's not told well. That's not because it's a bad story, it's because there was a limitation to, you know, storytelling tools back then. So this right here is Square Enix going back and telling Final Fantasy VII the way they would have if they had the tech back then that they would have had now. And so far they've knocked it out of the park. Barrett is being exactly the character that I always played him up to in my head. And that's the thing about video games. The older the video game, the more your imagination has to kick in to tell the story, right? If we talk old Atari stuff, like, you can't even tell what's on the screen, so you gotta make it up in your head. So, like, Barrett was kind of this Mr. T character for me, but a little bit softer with a heart of gold kind of situation. And we're seeing exactly that. He's this big, tough guy. But actually, they're developing a whole new part of Barrett that I never had in my headcanon for Barrett. And that is a charismatic leader. Yeah, he goes on some speeches in the classic version of Final Fantasy VII about saving the planet, but it was really just a lot of rage dialogue. He was just bitching and just like, oh god, I hate Shinra so fucking much. He just would go off the handle every now and again. But this is like, he's standing in front of people and he's grandiose about it, and he's waving his arms around, and he's charismatic. He's being very charismatic about it. That's the best way to say it. And being alluring and entertaining and drawing people into his cause.
Just saying they're gonna step up,
which makes sense because he's the leader of an eco-terrorist group.
They're trying extra hard to recruit more people.
Barrett's a little bard. He is a little bard.
Probably because
The no char. Yeah, what's up, Fritz? It's the no charisma dump stat leader.
But didn't a bunch of them eventually quit?
So like that's cool because that was something that like yeah, and he used to go on the speeches and try to rally people, but I never really thought of him as like this speech giver, and he's being one in this. And Cloud's filling out exactly the way that I wanted him to. And
Searching for candidates.
candidates. Okay.
Is that who Wedge mentioned? The merchant?
Barrett for president.
Sword's massive.
What does he sell again?
This here street behind me is Scrap Boulevard. It's crawling with monsters.
Okay.
Watch, make sure they don't get out.
That sword's massive.
What does he sell again?
Searching for candidates.
We got a weapon store here.
Don't try anything funny or you'll get it. The kids seem to think
I don't like that random textures are shitty.
We'll step in immediately. Gotta stay focused, even on break.
Beans slain this month, huh?
Noises that worry me.
You know, from what I've seen so far, all the mini games that were there are back.
Gotta stay focused, even on break.
And then some more. What I'm really excited for, and it's probably going to be in the second game, is Condor Peak. Exactly, Print. Like, that's why this is so impactful, is like, I'm glad they waited as long as they did. People were like, do it on the PS2, do it on the PS3. And then they're like, do it on that person all the way in the back. Look at the bridge in the back. She's frozen mid-walk. Oh no, she's leaning up on the... She's leaning up on the railing. I thought she was like running.
Don't tell me you're making that face because you think it looks cool. Are you?
Like how people just like sit around and do exercises.
You're having a bad day. Try getting more sleep.
Yeah, second disc will probably have a Condor like tower defense mini game, which like God, I can't wait to see how they fix that. Okay, so I can't get up there yet. Sounds good, FBJ. We'll catch you later, man.
Even our facilities are starting to look a little run down.
Okay, so they got their door closed for now.
The guy who lives over there's got a real hard-on for cleanliness.
Chewed this one out once before. He was really upset about the trash smell.
The bombing will likely impact us here more than people think.
Okay, he's got that blocked off. I'm getting to really explore. Look, check these kids out.
1, 2, ready? 1, 2, shoot! 1, 2, shoot! Gotcha! Oh man, what's the source name?
Really let me explore the slums, man.
Still can't believe that nice young girl who lived next door ran
I'm playing until I can't stay awake anymore. At best, that's gonna be like 19 hours, maybe. We're at 3 right now. But I've been up all day. I've already worked a full day.
I heard they still haven't.
The people who died were able to return.
So I don't know how long I can stay awake, but I'm definitely gonna push it as hard as I can.
What's the big sword for?
What's the big sword for?
Murder!
Yeah, they moved us to work from home. I got up, work. Thank God I didn't have to
Friend of mine's an aspiring
drive today, but it's in here.
Hell no.
Hey, this look like a bloodstain to you?
Shit. Got the latest and greatest Shinra brand goods for you right here. Stuff nobody's even selling yet.
I'll have a little chat with my man.
The vacant lot up ahead is overrun with wild beasts. Best steer clear unless you're looking for trouble. Even if you are, be careful.
Okay, so they've given us an opportunity to maybe farm a little? Yeah, absolutely. I believe that was gifted by Belisarius. You're very welcome, Prince. Welcome to Zigsun Clan. I hope you enjoy the emotes. Very proud of our emotes here. Alright, let's go get in a fight, huh? Doesn't look like... Huh. Interesting. There was nobody out here. Yeah, I'm super excited for all of it. Super excited. Just... it's bittersweet though. Like, as excited as I am for this, I know that I'm gonna hit a point and I won't be able to continue the story anymore. You may hear music near shops, certain characters. As you approach the source of the music icon will appear. The icon means that the music disc is available at a nearby shop or vending machine.
Me be in, and I met this incredible girl, the woman of my dreams. I don't know how much I spent on her, but I'm telling you, she's worth all the hill and then some.
She sure sounds like it.
I mean, hey, what's money good for?
Hey man, check it out. This song's pretty sweet, ain't it? You like it? You feeling it? Have a copy.
That's a Chocobo remix.
Come on. Something here to eat.
Dog!
Or not.
Can you pet the dog?
Trash.
Final Fantasy VII Remake almost was a perfect game. You can't pet the dog. That's a problem.
Come on. Gotta be something here to eat. You're all set.
Johnny's not a bad guy, but he has a pretty big mouth that he doesn't know when to keep shut.
That's dope. Guten Morgen! Is it already midnight, Billy? Great googly moogly. We haven't even taken a break yet. Wait a minute, chat, there's a vending machine back there?
I know.
Prince was just in here saying thank you for the gifted sub last time he was in here. Oh, and that was from you, Belly. Wait a minute. Is that not how I get back to...
Danger. Falling debris. Keep out. Not going that way.
How do I get back to... No, that isn't where my apartment is.
could start looking for a part-time gig.
Never ask folks about
serial
their
numbers
suppliers.
filed off and
Don't
everything.
take
For your piece.
You ever take a stroll down?
Okay, so that took me to the same place. Yeah, I'm exploring first. Go see Tifa later. So my apartments are over here.
No. My husband decided to go.
Okay. Ugh. We're gonna have to take a food break here. I haven't had dinner, guys.
If none of the train.
My priorities were skewed. I didn't put sustenance above gameplay.
Don't try anything funny. Next item on the Friends of Friends agenda.
Alright, so that's the fight yard with the kids. Alright, yeah, looks like I checked everything out.
What canned goods won't I get sick of?
Oh my god, look! Just look at the skybox. Sounds good, bud. Get some rest now. We'll catch you later, man.
Which is better?
Everything looks great on you.
You're not making this easy.
Oh.
I've chatted with that Barrett guy a few times. Looks like a real hard ass, but he's actually pretty chill.
Morning.
Hey.
Just so you know, Marlene's still asleep. Let's get down to business, shall we?
Huh?
These water filters won't replace themselves. Although the next batch probably could, if Jessie put her mind to it. Most every home in the area has one. Folks love them because they practically eliminate the rotten egg smell. Honestly, they make us more money than this place. And it's easy money too. We bring new filters, collect the old ones, and get paid. What?
Give me a break. I'm not a salesman. I'm a soldier.
Which is why no one will refuse to pay. What do you say? Please?
Let's get this over with.
Great. And while we're at it, I'll give you the grand tour.
Is she... Wait, I gotta go talk to the radio. Okay. To play your favorite tunes, you can add more songs you buy by collecting music discs can be found in the field, Chris. We got Tifa's theme. Alright, so we didn't do all this filter collecting in the original game. And this pinball machine, volcano bombs, would take us downstairs to the secret base. Now let's go hang out with Tifa.
Go ahead and keep whatever we collect. Seeing as you didn't bring any luggage, I'm guessing there's stuff you need to buy.
Thanks.
And don't worry, we'll pay you the difference after.
Everyone's free.
Barrett's out making his rounds too.
As long as I get it all today.
Take your time now, okay?
Tifa just out in the streets, smacking into people.
No matter your needs or your budget or
Hey there. Here to change out your water filter.
Tifa, baby, how you doing? Been waiting for you to... Wait, who's he?
Cloud's in charge of collections. He'll take your money.
Sounds like a pretty sweet gig. If you ever need someone to fill in, I'm your man.
In your dreams, maybe.
Huh?
Cloud! Since we're here, maybe we should do a little shopping.
Suppose I could take a look?
Give me all the materia. All of it. Okay. Where's my money? Alright, it's bottom left corner. Okay. Alright, we're gonna be right back, guys. I'm gonna find something to eat, man. Starving. Alright, guys, take a chance. Get up. Move around. Get a new drink. All that jazz. When we get back, I'm buying some lightning materia for my boy Cloud. We'll be right back.